All right. Well, thank you everyone for being here today. I am very glad. Today we have with us Julie Jensen, who is a wonderful volunteer with the Family Caregivers Center here. She's done a variety of things in her career with education. And today she will be talking to us about the gratitude of caregiving because she herself has also been a caregiver for her mom who lived with dementia. So I will turn it over to Julie here and go ahead.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Abby. And when I think about gratitude, I always enjoy turning that calendar over to November and realize that it's a month for us to be thankful, and it's a great reminder of how our finding our gifts and our blessings and being grateful during this time, but throughout all of the year as well. So our caregiver-centered news this month also has an article about gratitude for caregivers. And so I am just refer you to that article. Today, what I hope to do is to talk a little bit about what gratitude is and a little bit about what gratitude is not, or what it might not mean, and then some suggestions on how to practice gratitude. And near the end of the PowerPoint is some helpful resources for you as well. So when we think about gratitude, it's really that quality of being thankful. And it's an appreciation for even little things that might happen. And as I said, the resources at the end, there's science that supports and research that supports that being grateful, taking a little time to be grateful and finding that gratefulness is a very healthy stress reliever and healthy for all of us. So those gratitude ideas and thoughts, they might be actual tangible things that we can touch, or it might be the intangible that's in our heart that helps us to be less stressed and a little more healthy as well. Gratitude and being thankful for things isn't about ignoring the bad things. So there are tough times. We all know there are tough times. And as a caregiver, I can relate to this so much when conversations with my mom, when her tone of voice or her facial expressions were just anger and madness. And I would come home during those times. I know I did, and I complained. As I think about it now and try to recognize that, yep, those were tough times, but how thankful I am I had the time with mom. And so kind of changing that mindset a little bit and having a different perspective really can help keep our mindset on being grateful rather than getting sucked into maybe those negative swirls that bring us down sometimes. So yeah, we all know there are tough times, and but if we can keep our perspective as thinking about something grateful that has happened, like the toast didn't burn this morning, those can be those times of being grateful. So like I said, why do we practice gratitude and gratefulness? Because practicing that really helps us keep our emotions more positive. We feel more alive. We can sleep better. And we can express our compassion and our thoughts. So on the slide here, I talk about a caregiver example again, and I'm using my mom because she is the most recent person that I have been able to have that opportunity of caregiving. And we had a conversation probably about 6-8 months ago where mom, they're living in an assisted living area. She had the opportunity to go to exercise classes. And so I would say, oh, look at this, mom, you can go to exercise tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Oh yeah, I'll go. That afternoon, I talked with her and I said, did you go to exercise? No, I don't like exercise. I don't want to go to exercise. I know all those things that they're doing at that class. I don't have to go. So again, I would get frustrated and think, all right, she's not going to exercise. We all know it's good for her. What can we do here? So the next time around, I decided to reframe it and say, you know what, Mom? I am so grateful. I went to yoga last night. Exercise makes me feel good. And at that point, Mom was able to turn her thoughts about exercise. She goes, oh yeah, exercise is good. It makes me feel good too. And I thought, yes, okay. Did she ever go? I don't know. I don't think so. But I'm so grateful to have that conversation and a different tone of a conversation with her as well. So I know being grateful, finding that gratitude is healthy and helpful and a little bit of a stress reliever. So how can we practice gratitude? Incorporating that gratitude into our daily routine. And if we can just find that time, maybe it's early morning, maybe it's bedtime, maybe it's in the middle of the day, but taking maybe even just 5 minutes to think about what has happened well today and being grateful for that and having that mindset is just a great thing to do. And I'll give you another example. This one happened to be when my husband was going through some cancer treatments, and I was his primary caregiver. And at that point, at one morning, he was going to feed the dog, and the dog food went all over the floor. I come in, I'm thinking, oh, we have a mouse in the house because there's dog food under the cupboards. And I am like, okay, I got to figure out how to do mouse traps, which is not a good thing for me to think about. And and he goes, no, I spilled the dog food. I said, oh, I am so grateful. Thank you. Thank you for spilling dog food. So again, just that incorporating into the daily routine can be just a helpful perspective. The only way I know to tell you those stories about my mom and exercise and my husband and dog food is because I keep a gratitude journal. Do I write in it every day? I wish I did, but I know I don't have that time. But when I take the time, it is so helpful for me. And it's most helpful because I can go back and look at that gratitude journal and remember, oh, yes, I was grateful. I was grateful the day the dog food spilled because it meant it wasn't a mouse. I was grateful the day that I finally figured out how to talk to Mom about exercise. And so keeping that journal, again, helps us to keep that perspective and that mindset. A couple other ways to help that spread that gratitude, share it with friends and family. We have a challenging time, we know, this November, and thinking about Thanksgiving and how to be grateful and finding that gratitude with family. But sharing a note, sharing a phone call, sharing some time on Zoom. So spending time finding the spreading of gratitude with family. And then acknowledging the little things. It's so easy to forget when things are tough. When we're tired, when we are stressed, when we're not quite sure what the next day is going to bring us, just acknowledge those little things, like the toast didn't burn this morning. So practicing those gratitude ideas are really helpful. So there's always a reason to be thankful. And I know there are times when the tears fall, and it's like, I'm not quite sure. What am I going to be thankful for today? But I also know if I can find something, a little something to feel healthy, happy, and thankful, the day starts better, or the day ends better, or in the middle of the day, it helps me with the energy to get through the day. So sometimes just that little extra effort to find the gratitude and the gratefulness helps us that positive state and improve our perception of life. So again, those resources that I talked about, there is an article on the science behind practicing gratitude, and that's linked right in there into the website. And Abby, if I need to give you these links, I can certainly do that.
Definitely.
Okay. And then gratitude for caregivers. So there's a great website for caregivers, and they have wonderful suggestions this month in November, as well as how to find that gratitude.
Thank you so much, Julie. We really appreciate you sharing today. This was wonderful, and definitely a reminder that I think all of us could use, especially as we go through, this difficult time with COVID, and then heading into the holidays too. So we appreciate your time, and thank you all for logging in today.